PaperMade, how do you do?
It's going. I'm doing well.
Okay.
I have to say.
Cool. Thank you for inviting me to your new studio. This is nice. I have
My
to
new
say.
studio. This is our new studio.
Oh, okay. I can put my name on it too. Thank you for being at my studio. I'm glad that you're able to check out the couch. And
That
the
totally
background and
flipped. I
everything.
said our, you said my,
You
but
give an inch. You give an inch. And that's what happens. All right. Nah, this is really nice though. You got the visuals and stuff like that. I had to freaking get my hair cut and stuff. So an extra burden. So thanks for that.
You're
For pushing us.
welcome.
But I think the visuals is definitely going to add to experience as well. So
yeah,
I think it's going to be great.
that's what I was thinking.
And good seeing you as well. And I guess we could just get this started. I was talking to a friend of mine, and you know how and you probably how do you feel about signs? Do you ever ask people what's your sign? Oh, you're a moon rising. That means you're this, or this.
Yes, I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I think it is cool too. I think it's cool in a fun way. I feel like people take it. Some people just use it for fun. Some people take it, I feel kind of seriously, you know?
Yeah.
And whether it's good or not, I don't know. But I was looking it up, and there are some astrologists that they've conducted a few experiments. Like there was this one guy, I can't remember his name, but he said that there's something to the time where you conceive a person and the lining up of the planets where the child will be this amazing athlete or something like that, right? And there's other allegations like that, and some people have will come up with some sort of experiment with that's convincing, but they're not. You can't replicate it. And or even duplicate
Which
it
means
for that
it's
matter.
difficult to do any scientific
prove.
experiments.
Right. But for
you
the
need
fun,
to be able to replicate it.
Right. But for the fun of it, let's look at our horoscope. I want to know what our horoscope says for today.
Okay.
All right, so I'll go first. I'm a Libra. Okay, shout out to my Libras out there.
Shout out to the Virgos.
Boo. Boo, Libras up. All right, so today's horoscope, you are suggested to keep calm and be happier. Don't overthink about anything and work harder. Don't be too stiff towards people. You have to keep calm and become a little hotter. I don't know what that last part meant, but I kind of feel like that. I kind of feel the rest of it. Don't worry, be happy. What does yours say?
Don't worry, be happy. Mine says something along the same lines. It says, consider the possibility that everything you are afraid of is happening to someone else. Today, it feels like the world is pressing in on you. You trivialize your emotions. Let the nagging little voice in your head control you, and don't have the energy to suppress it. Acknowledge the difference between the helpful and the harmful, the safe and the dangerous, but don't judge them. You already know what lies beneath the surface, and that's a start.
All right, shout out to my Virgos. Don't suppress your emotions and definitely acknowledge everything. So, all right, so I wanted to bring that up because that's something, a fun thing that people do where we're looking at the stars, right? And we want to interpret things and make things applicable to us in our space, in the universe.
Find meaning in the grand scheme of things.
The grand design, right?
Yeah.
But now and since the 50s, it's been this whole okay, now we've been looking at the stars, or thousands of years actually, we've been looking at the stars. We are getting closer and closer to not just looking at it, but being there and being a part of it.
Yeah,
so that's
and understanding.
That's actually what I want this episode to be about. So let's talk about space exploration and technology and everything we can look forward to. Let's hit the theme song.
Black Hypothesis.
Hey everybody, this is theLangstonJoules.
And PaperMade.
And we are
Black Hypothesis. STEM for the culture. So, I've been through it. I know that a lot of people probably have that idea in their mind at some point in life that, exploring what we are calling the grand scheme of things, the the extraterrestrial seems so cool,
Yeah.
so miraculous, you know? And at some point, many of us, especially those who are interested in STEM at
Yeah.
some point, are just like, what is beyond the Earth that we know? Have you ever had that feeling or thought?
I be thinking about it a lot. It's like, do you really think we're the only living things out here in this whole like galaxy upon galaxy upon galaxy?
Or the only living things that could possibly exist? Let's be honest. Human beings like to create. We're really creative. And we like to birth things. We like to make things happen and invent and take care of.
Yeah.
There are a couple of things in there that can evoke this nurturing and cultivative lifestyle, not just here on Earth, but in other places that we will possibly visit in the future.
Yeah.
So there has been a part of me that's been like, how the hell can I get myself to space? Because I want to help cultivate stuff outside of this Earth too. That would be so cool. How can it possibly happen?
Where would you want to go?
I would want to go to Mars.
Yeah?
Yeah. I would want to go to Mars because it's been said and research has shown that Mars was a similar planet to Earth a very long time ago, but over time it just kind of died. The water is gone and any sign of living creatures is gone. And we haven't been able to really find much that speaks to exactly how long ago it was, but we have an idea from the signs that we see on the planet. We have an idea where we can retroactively kind of figure out a time span.
Yeah.
And I think that I was watching a movie about, NASA or some space exploration agency that was sending a botanist into space to see if the botanist could cultivate plants.
Like food or,
plants
Yeah.
on the planet.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so interesting because usually you only see movies about and the star of the movie is usually about an astronaut, a space cowboy, an astronaut, an explorer, an Air Force person, because a lot of these astronauts do come from like the Air Force and other agencies that have professional flyers, and yes, they have scientists and biologists because there's no way you're going to send people out there that can't care for, understand the world around them. But this is the first time I saw a botanist, somebody who isn't really the kind of person you would expect to be able to join a force like that, on a ship. And it was really interesting because it was all about what the motive was. So I was thinking, STEM people, if we really want to get ourselves out into space, wouldn't it be interesting if we could just make that happen ourselves by doing a bit of research and writing a paper about why our specifications, our knowledge is so important. Your expertise is so important in the development of another planet to really accept and be what we need to live.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Right?
Okay. No,
like you can be convincing. That's the whole point of a paper, is to be convincing and to show people like what I know is true and what I know is important. So you could
if
really do that.
If this planet was like about to explode and they're like cherry picking people to go to another planet, I'm writing like a whole 10-page thesis about why you need me. Okay?
Yeah.
This is why you need me. All right. Listen, when you go there, what are you gonna need? You're gonna need power. Okay. You're gonna need to know how to design, all these
power
electrical
that can
things,
withstand the environment that you're moving to.
Right,
and I know the
exactly.
materials.
Right. And do you know how the geomagnetic fields affect the currents in the ground and power flows? No, you don't. You need me, brother.
You
Okay?
need
Do you know how diseases spread through the air and all these other different type of atmospheres? No, you need PaperMade. All right. We're going to keep y'all going.
You're going
keep
to
y'all
need
set.
to understand how the environment is going to affect the human body and how the human body is going to be able to interact with others, if affected by that environment.
Yo, I'm gonna start write my paper now, just in case, just in case I need to whip it out on anybody real quick.
If you want to make it into space, I think that would be an amazing thing to do, is write your thesis about why or how your expertise and your knowledge is so important to the development of a society that could actually succeed at building a civilized community out there.
Just think about it.
In the unknown.
Just think about it. All right, so let's dig into it a little bit more, because I think this is like a really fascinating topic. And the first thing that I want to mention is that I was kind of like just playing around. I follow this. He's like a physicist guy, and he posted this, and he wasn't even sponsored or anything, but he posted this like website that NASA has. And or it's some part of their website, and it's called like eyes.nasa.gov or something like that. So definitely check it out, and it's kind of cool. And when you go on it, it'll give you like a simulated view of the solar system in real time, and it's 3D too, so you can see the exact placement right now at this moment, or whatever moment you're looking at, of each body. It could be the Earth, it could be even like comets that are currently traveling through space, or certain satellites or things that they've sent out even like years ago. And it's very interactive. You can like pan it, you can tilt, you can click on certain things that you see on there. So for example, if you click on Jupiter, right, it'll have like a few facts about it, like Jupiter has 16 moons or something like that. It'll click on Pluto. I think it's fucked up that Pluto used to be a planet and then demoted it. Like, I think that's hella shady, son. Like, I don't know what was going on with that. I still remember
it's science, we figure out things as we go.
Yeah, I don't know.
You never know what your status is going to be in 15 years.
You got to tighten up. You got to tighten up at all times. So, yeah, you can click on that. And you can even click on one of, like, the satellites. So, there's this one called Voyager 1. And I just, like, accidentally saw it, too. So, when I clicked on it, they launched that in 1977. This is just off the facts that I remember. And I don't even know what the mission is, but it is 14 billion miles away from Earth right now. Cool. And they can even tell you like the speed that it's going at in relation to the sun. So I think it was going to like 40,000 miles an hour through, through space, which is wild. So I would say definitely check that out. And
that's really cool.
Yeah, and the way you can even keep zooming out more. There isn't a lot more information past Pluto. I mean, you can just zoom out and then you can just kind of see like the solar system is just like a little dot in this huge Milky Way. Like it's like you can't even see it anymore, So definitely next time you stub your toe on something, just know that you're a speck. You're a speck. You're an infinitesimal microcosm of anything. Okay. So it's
and that's what makes space and understanding the vastness of it so cool. It's just like to see how significant and yet insignificant we all are is
in
just
the grand scheme of things.
It is like you said, wild.
Yeah. Like I feel like you could. I was about to say something too super bad. You could like, I don't know, burn down a whole forest and. In the grand
scheme of things,
it doesn't matter.
No, we did not say that. We didn't say that.
Nah, don't do it. But I'm just saying, like, It just helps to put things in perspective is all.
It does. So let's dig into it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so NASA, like I said, I was checking out the website, but there's also like a whole bunch of plans that they have for future projects and things, and it's pretty lofty, I'd say, especially since I don't know, it's been maybe 60 years since they first launched their first, I think it was Sputnik 1 or something. It probably wasn't, I don't think it was NASA. I think it was like a Russian thing. But, anyone on Earth has, launched an aircraft into space. Not an aircraft, some sort of spacecraft, I guess, into space. And in this decade, in the 2020s, they're looking to have a robotic mission to exoplanets. An exoplanet is a planet that's not in our solar system. So if I say exoplanet, just know it revolves another star that's not our own sun, and that's that. And also, by the end of the decade, they want, and it's not Mars, but I think it's a good step in the right direction. They're looking for people to work and live on the moon. Okay.
Wow.
Having
in
habitat
the next decade.
by the end of the decade, I think. Yeah.
That's cool.
And I think that is cool because something that I wouldn't want to live there, to be honest.
I wouldn't want to live there either. Nobody's gonna live there.
Yeah, but I feel like it'll be a good day trip only because
day trip?
I love views, bro. Yeah, because you could see the Earth. I've never seen the Earth before. I've seen pictures of it. That looks
If
really
I'm
cool.
going to the moon, it's gonna be for a good month at least.
What are you gonna do there for a month?
Work, explore.
All right. I mean,
There'll be other people there. You can say I did this and that, and I'm saying that's a trip.
nah. I need it.
If you go to Thailand, people are. That's on the other side of the country. People aren't going there for a day.
I feel you.
Or two.
I
So
feel you,
why
but
would I go to the moon for a day?
Because I feel like there's different things to do in Thailand every day. Once you get to the moon, it's like you're looking at the same thing for how much, a month? I feel like for me, that's like you go on a cruise, you get off the cruise to check out this island, and then you get right back on the same day. You leave.
I feel like you
Maybe
could
I'll
learn
spend
a
the night on
lot
the moon.
you could probably learn a lot about the ships that took you there, meet the people who brought you there. You could meet the people who went there with you and figure out ways to learn about the food that you're eating there and how they made it.
Yeah, that's true.
Learn about, I just feel like I would want to experience it for a long while.
Okay, all right. Well, let's go back to that, because I want to continue the rest of the time. But I do like that thought, right? So in the 2030s, and this is closer to what you were saying, they're looking to send. We already have a rover on Mars, and
we do.
And there's actually like a live feed. I hope it's still working. I actually looked at it the other day. I mean, and I didn't say it before because I was like, all right, it just looks like rocks. It looks like a desert pretty much. So, but it's still cool to actually look on Mars in real time to see what's going on. So they're looking to send, a manned mission to Mars in the 2030s. I think there's also a Mars One thing that, I want to say Elon Musk or some private companies doing where they can to colonize Mars as well. Yeah. So there's, you hold out, there's definitely an opportunity for you but I think it is a one-way trip. So, I mean, just think about
hell
that.
No. I'm not doing any one-way trips.
I think that one was a one-way trip. Anyway, they are looking to send manned missions to Mars. In the 2040s, they're looking to have robotic missions to distant stars. And in the 2050s, they want to be able to, in the 2040s, they want to have a robotic mission to a different solar system that's close by, which is not close by. When I say close by, I mean 40 light years away. Because I only say that because the next one is even further than that. And 40 and light years. Oh, side note, light year, that's not a unit of time, where I've heard people talk about.
It's distance.
Yeah, it is.
It's a unit of distance.
It's a unit of distance. Okay, so if you're traveling at the speed of light in a year, that's when you'll get to that point. That's what a light year is. So this one is 40 light years away, which is we'll definitely be dead by the time that robot gets there. But it's still exciting stuff, I have to say. In the 2050s, they're also looking to have robotic missions to distant stars. They even have a plan for like hundreds of years from now, like in 2400, to send actually manned missions to, points in the galaxy, or the galaxy that we're in, that's halfway between where we are and the center of it. So that's also a long time from now, but I think it's exciting stuff. And the way that they're projecting that they're able to do this is based off of pretty much like our advancements since the first rocket ship that we sent up, and also how quickly technology is advancing as well.
Yeah.
There's something called
We
Moore's.
should be able to do that by this time based on how quickly we've been developing technology previously.
Right. Previously, as well as take into account the trend in something called Moore's law, where
it's easier to develop technology as technology actually develops.
right, but specifically like the number of transistors that they can fit in, like it's based on computing power essentially, where the number of transistors that could fit like on an actual chip is doubling every couple years or so. So that's almost exponential, to the point where to that point where at this year we'll be able to reach all these crazy places. But going back to the moon, right? One, I wouldn't go there for how long would you say we go there?
A month.
I'm not going there for you. If you land on the moon and you land on the dark side, does it spin, or does it just stick in one? I don't know.
Does the moon rotate?
Yeah. I don't
know.
know.
The moon rotates.
I know it rotates around the Earth, but is there some way that it could like rotate and it's still blocked by? I don't know. I wouldn't want to land there and I'm on the dark side and it's like dark
the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then you can move. I don't think it would be dark the whole time, because it also spins.
That's true.
It spins and it rotates.
It spins, but it needs the sun to hit. Well, yeah, I guess the Earth wouldn't block it for that long. Okay. All right, cool.
So it would be, I think it would just be a crazy experience to know that. I mean, I know that people are going on missions and going on even, what do you call those? Trips that have expeditions, trips that have nothing to do with work or what they do. It's voluntary.
Yeah. Missions? No.
No, those aren't missions.
I was thinking about I don't know.
Those are like just vacations.
Oh, like tourism?
Tourism.
Okay.
Space
tourism.
tourism.
Okay, got you.
Has become, well done. That was amazing.
Yeah, that's why
Space
I said I would definitely go like
become,
as part of a cruise.
Yeah, space tourism has become something of a unique extravaganza experience. And just knowing that we're already in that time, because there are only a few people that really have gotten to do this, so it's still very unique. But in essence, we're in the beginnings. And to really understand that and to think of that as people have gone into space and have returned safely, they've been able to see the sights and come back. That's very miraculous. And that shows that we're not far off from these expected missions, these planned missions, as maybe we thought at one time we would have been.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I feel like there's still like a lot of we can't ignore the some of the challenges, right? Like, for example, you talking about space tourism. When people go up there, what are we going? I'm going to want to know, what am I going to eat if I go up there? Okay,
yeah.
I don't know.
It's really not that crazy to think of what you're going to eat when you go up there, because I don't know if this has ever come up before
I want to know what I'm going to eat.
In our episodes, but I used to do ROTC when I was in university.
Yeah.
And we had something called MREs.
What's that?
There were these like dehydrated meals.
Okay.
That came in a vacuum sealed package.
Yeah.
That you would just kind of like add a bit of water on the outside of it. And there was this. Okay, this is hard to explain. So we're going to have to do another episode of me actually understanding the science of MREs.
Right. All right.
Because this is very unique.
You can explain the application, though.
Yeah. So you have a package that has some type of chemical in it. You add water to that package. You put your MRE inside of that, and you may or may not have to add water to the MRE itself.
Yeah.
The chemical heats up. And when I say heats up, I'm talking it could burn you. It's so hot. And it cooks whatever is inside the package that's inside of that.
Oh, okay.
And sometimes because sometimes our trips would be so cold, you could keep an MRE, like the cook package, because it keeps warm for a long time, and you could like hold on to it or put it in your pants or something, and it'd be like
you cook it just
heat
to keep
warmers.
yourself warm.
Yeah, but no, you would never waste it. You would cook it to eat, but you would hold on to it after you cooked your meal. You could hold on to it because it stays warm for a really long time.
Yeah.
And then you just take your spoon or your fork or whatever. I've had lasagna. Lasagna was one of my favorites.
How was it?
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's not regular lasagna, but it's like regular lasagna.
It'll do in a dark forest.
It'll do. Like,
okay.
It's pretty good. It's better than Chef Boyardee. I'll tell you that.
Oh, I used to bang Chef Boyardee
Exactly.
all the time,
So if you ever were hungry, like this stuff is pretty good. But there are favorites. You know, sometimes you could have a brownie. Brownies come in there as
like
your dessert.
You're baking the brownie in your packet? Is that?
No, you don't bake it. It's already baked. But you could warm it up if you wanted to. You could warm it up.
Oh, okay. So it's just a brownie. You don't have to do the MRE and the water.
No, you don't have to do
it's
that.
A brownie. Okay,
because
gotcha.
the MREs,
I'm thinking everything is
the MREs
now.
can come as breakfast, lunch. You get dessert and you get a snack.
Yeah.
So my favorite snack for the MREs was this. It's kind of like M&Ms, except for it's really just a chocolate-covered coffee bean.
Yeah.
With a candy coat.
Oh, that's dessert. Okay.
That wasn't dessert. That was the snack.
Okay. All right, cool. So it sounds like the food is covered. They got the lasagna.
They're
and
good,
the
guys. They're
stuff.
good.
But other things like the habitat, right? You will have to, if you want to stay there for a month, you need a constant source of oxygen, right?
Yes, you do.
What are you gonna do with the waste and the trash? You know, I mean, how are you gonna get around? You know, how, even like landing technology, do we have the ability to land and leave, constantly do something like that? You know, because that's another thing if you want to have like large scale operations like that. And I think that the moon is a good place to practice all of that stuff, because once you could like nail it down there, then when we go to Mars, we'll already have that handled. So I'm very interested in how that's gonna work out. I'm glad the end of the decade isn't that far away, so I could definitely wait for that. And I would, like I said, I would go just to see the Earth. So since it's not that far away, this type of space travel. Let's take it back real quick. Let's take it back. What this got to do with me? What this got to do with you? What this got to do with all of y'all? Right? If the fact that we're even talking about it, that means people have already been making moves and been building infrastructure, making plans to already get into space.
Yeah.
So we don't want to be left behind on that trend again. Okay.
Like I said, especially just because these kind of developments allow you to be the first. They allow you to be the introduction to a new economy, a new perspective, a new way of life. And so, if anything, we've learned that being the first in a lot of these experiences that have money, have lifestyle, have imagination and innovation involved could be a great financial investment for a person,
Right.
especially if you have the wherewithal to evolve whatever there is to evolve.
Right. And I feel like it's definitely very nice. Things are changing so rapidly. And even with things like AI, like I'm seeing burger flipping robots and completely unmanned restaurants and things like that. You know? So we definitely have to
Ooh,
be able
burgers
to
sound
adapt.
good right now.
Definitely does. Maybe we can get one right after this. Veggie burger for me, of course. But like, yeah, shit, I'm thinking about the burger and I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, we have to like adapt, and this is definitely a new frontier that we don't want to get left behind in. So what are like some type of disciplines or jobs that we need to think about to definitely break into that space? The one I'm thinking of is a physicist, right? If you like physics, and space and all that theoretical stuff, that is definitely your lane, bro. Okay, because what you're doing,
get in there.
Yeah, you're observing like all these different types of forces and. I remember physics and, you're studying electromagnetic waves, you're doing research, you're studying atoms, maybe quantum mechanics and things like that. That is definitely your lane. And we're going to be doing a lot more as computing power progresses as well. You'll be a lot more useful. I don't want to say useful. You'll be a lot more needed in that space as well.
And I just think that as we do develop in these spaces, there are other careers that are going to become even more important as well. Just like we were talking about that botanist, I think biologists and geologists, even architecture and civil engineering is going to become a lot more important for the development of these spaces and for us to acclimate to another environment. It's going to be imperative.
No, absolutely. And even as things continue to grow, it'll even like spread out to disciplines that aren't as super tech savvy, right? Let's like even like a technical writer. We're going to need those types of people as well. The people that can listen. And they're very important because they're the ones that are responsible for listening and understanding what the back end people or the people that are telling you the actual application, how it works, and then translating it for the layman, right? Because if the normal consumer was to ask the actual developer or the researcher how something works, it's almost like they're speaking two different languages. So that's also something that will also be useful as well, or even like a public affairs type of person, because as this is going to be a commercial effort as well. You're going to need people to be able to convey messages to the public in a way. Communication is very important. That's still something that is going to be needed as well. And someone that specializes in that, even though it's going to be in a different, the rules will still apply there. So there's this space for everyone, not just specifically STEM, but anything that would support a society that is going to be, functional outside of this domain that we call Earth.
Yes, STEM paralleled.
No, absolutely. So, I mean, get in where you fit in at the end of the day. Get in where you fit in. Just imagine this Earth now. There's going to be another Earth somewhere else. Things are probably going to run pretty much exactly the same. So, definitely.
But in the beginnings of the beginnings,
ways.
I think that knowing a lot about STEM, knowing a lot about the technical and the mathematical, the scientific, and a lot of engineering is going to be involved in the beginnings. So the more you know about this realm of understanding, the better.
Yeah. No,
so
definitely.
brush up.
No, yeah, definitely. So yeah, in 2030, if you see PaperMade on Mars, definitely say what's up. Give us some love. All right, dapper up. Like, hey, I loved your show back on Earth. So yeah, definitely looking forward to it. I think we're in for some exciting times. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not gonna be on Mars. I'm gonna be honest, not interested. I'm looking for like an Avatar type of world for me. But so when that's on and popping,
Good luck
you'll
with
see me
that.
over
That's
there.
gonna be a while.
Well, I'm gonna be there. If I'm still here, and that's available option, I'm gonna take it. So, all right, thanks guys. Love it. I love the new space. I think we should do the rest of the episodes here, like on this couch. What you think?
I'm with it.
All right, let's do it.
This is the studio now.
Absolutely. All right, it's the studio. Thanks for enjoying our episode, guys. Thanks for joining us, and we hope you liked the episode. If you did like it, go ahead and smash that like button, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're also available on all other social media platforms as well, such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you'd like to reach out to us regarding any critiques, a topic that you'd like us to cover, or you'd just like to be a guest on the show, you can email us at blackhypothesis@gmail.com. Thank you for your support.